big on spreading awesome ideas. TED holds this conference where thought leaders from around the world give some mind-blowing talks. Then TED sticks them online so you can watch them for free. Volunteers translate the videos, which means anyone can be inspired by the likes of Bill Gates, Malcolm Gladwell, or Jane Goodall. So what is TEDx? TEDx is a way for you to run a mini TED-style event in your own town. Hold talks around issues that matter to your community, free from corporate, political, and religious agendas. So take part. Don't stop watching videos at TED.com. Keep an eye out for your nearest TEDx event, and if you're up for it, apply to start your own. TED, ideas worth spreading.
Can I kindly ask if you can mute your mic?
I hope. I just hope.
Sorry, someone has their mic unmuted.
Oh, thank God.
Wait, I can't seem to find the mic unmuted. Please kindly mute your mic. Kavelo, Khatebe.
No, sorry.
Short. Thank you. Thank you so much. So welcome to the info session again. My name is Kuda. I am your host, and in a few seconds you'll be able to see my screen. Can you see me? If you can see me, just be like, hi, handsome, at least. Even if you're a guy, it's okay. So my name is Kuda, and this is the TEDx session where I'm going to share with you a little bit more about the platform TED and the initiative TEDx University of South Africa. To begin with, TED is a global platform for ideas worth spreading. It was founded in 1984 in America under the construct of sharing ideas. Like you've seen, TED, it used to be a difficult thing to get awesome ideas about what's happening in the world. And seeing that today we are in a class where we are expecting students from the agriculture and environment classes, from the College of Agriculture and Environmental Science, we're going to go into a little bit of the TED Talks that we can expect from these cohorts of people, and then answer a few questions. But then to answer a few questions, let's start by explaining what TED University of South Africa aims to achieve. On the 2nd of October, TEDx University of South Africa aims to have its second annual TEDx event under the theme, We Define Tomorrow. We Define Tomorrow is a theme that is representative of what this university stands for. It's been a pivotal theme of UNISA for a while now, and TEDx University of South Africa has adopted it as its theme for this year, mainly because, if anything, we are totally defining tomorrow. We have always defined tomorrow as an institute of higher learning. Now people are only catching up to online classes. We've been doing them since you know when, and we truly do define tomorrow. I think we used to be shunned and looked down upon as people who learn online, but now people are like, well, you know what? I think it's a good idea to start with UNISA, and we've seen even our numbers increase. But nevertheless, TED is a platform for ideas worth spreading. What we look for is research-based, fact-backed research-based knowledge about what's happening in the community. And just to give you an explanation of that.
And the president, even when all of those allegations were raised,
do not know where that audio is coming from. Okay, Right. Just to get us started off with understanding a little bit more of TEDx before we go into the event, I'm gonna show you a TED talk that I watched and really looked up to about how other people are using DNA technology to help farmers fight crop diseases in Africa. And ladies and gentlemen, this TEDx was done in 2019 at the TED Summit. And the speaker on this TED talk is Laura. You see her name just now, Laura Boykin. And let us watch together. All right, I hope that gonna motivate you guys to join in on a conversation. And we're gonna unwrap this talk in a few minutes with you. Or I think you can just raise your hand and comment if you have anything to say, especially if you come from an agricultural background. Don't be shy. I don't bite. Come on now, guys. Kulileko, Dineo, Marlene, Cabello, Keleto, Steve, Yandisa. I'd love to hear your feedback on this TED Talk that we just watched. Yes,
hello,
yes.
can
BT.
you hear me?
Yes, BT. Yeah, you can go Dineo and then BT after.
Oh, yeah. Okay. You don't mind if I don't show the video or?
It's okay. It's all right.
All right. No problem. I think it was a really interesting talk and it relates very well to the kind of field that we're in, showing that how science can actually work for people. Many a times you get so caught up in the work that you do, like academics in the lab, it becomes so academic that it's almost impractical. So I really enjoyed listening to her perspective, showing how practical science can be, you know, from the lab to actually benefiting people. So that's my takeaway from that. And hopefully, you know, our studies can also do the same for people throughout the continent, especially, you know, be it in every agriculture or any other field, but to just make a practical impact in people's life. I think it should be why we do this thing at the end of it all.
Amazing. And BT, please go ahead.
Hi, I'm Petunia. I'm sorry, my name there is BT. Yeah, I did enjoy her talk so much. Maybe it's because I'm doing the same thing, almost the same thing she's doing, but I'm focusing on livestock. So I could understand each and every single thing she's saying because it's every single thing I'm doing with the farmers. So, but I have a question. I saw that she used a lot of images. I don't know if all the images were taken by her or by other people. I just want to know on the copyright side, if when you prepare such talks, you are allowed to use images from different sources, or it's supposed to be yours only, or are we allowed to use Shutterstock? I know UNISA has license with Shutterstock. So are we allowed to use Shutterstock, or we are allowed to only use our images? But I did enjoy her talk so much. And I love the fact that, you know, she was it's science, is deep, it's genomics, but she was able to articulate her results in a layman's term. So I loved it so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Petunia. And I'm looking forward to your talk when you educate the rest of the world on how you perceive us being able to eat meat that's not sick, eh? Petunia, ladies and gentlemen, will be delivering a TED talk on this stage on the 2nd of October. If I'm not mistaken, that's Petunia Malachi, right?
Correct.
Thank you. All right, just to answer your question on the copyright side of it, when it comes to the TEDx platform, we also give out licenses from Shutterstock, premium licenses to speakers who will be joining our stage, courtesy of Shutterstock sponsorship. And what is important is that You either have consent from whoever the source of the photo is, if it's someone who's private, considering Poppy in these days, and especially if you're showcasing people in specific. But other than that, also giving credit on the video or the photo, the credit of source to say this photo was taken by XYZ is also good enough for our platform. I hope that answers your question. And just to pick up from where you were given to say, yes, we are trying to kind of get us into a form where we understand that TED is a platform where what you are studying becomes relevant. The research you put in, the thesis you write, this is the platform where people can validate it and people can talk about it and share. And that's our mission as the team behind TEDx University of South Africa, pretty much to give you, everyone who is in this room and outside these rooms, the opportunity to share their ideas and word spreading. And I'm really excited to see what Petunia has. And right now, I'm just going to go into explaining, as you saw, the video format. It started off with a clear introduction of who she is and why she is connected to what she's talking about. This allowed us all to engage and relate to her story. Some of you are scientists, so you relate with having to look for a small part-time job. Even though she came from a basketball background, it was good to see that. I come from a civil engineering background, and I'm doing speaking. And yeah, so amazing how careers can shift when you think you're in your path. And then we went into the body where she described the science behind what she did and gave us the story of where the science was being applied. In this case, in a community in East Africa that needed to save their cassava. And then at the end, all the details of her talk, the points she brought up, got summarized into tangible facts you can take home, and I hope you're going to take home today, in terms of how they managed to achieve results. Where were these results achieved? How tangible were these results? And that's what a TED Talk is. It's a showcase of ideas, research, and it's a platform where opinion becomes substantious. Where your idea becomes substantiated by the general public in general. This talk has over 135,000 views on our website and close to about 2 million views on our YouTube page. Now, TED Talk has the power of really taking small ideas and sparking them up. It doesn't matter if you're from a small village, Epaka, or from Port Alfred, Pietermaritzburg, wherever you come from, as long as your idea is something worth spreading, our 37 million subscribers will definitely lend their eye and their ear to listen to what you have to say. But from this moment in time, I'd love to hear if I have anyone with questions on what TED is or anything in the realm of TED that you'd like some clarity on in this evening. Please don't be shy. Andirumi, meaning I don't bite.
Hi, Kuda. It's a bit silent here.
Thanks. Even if it means sharing a joke.
No, Yeah, I'm just a bit interested in finding out that since you mentioned that much of the talks are very research centered, what then do you guys propose, or what's the directive when it's still a developing topic? It's still something that's still in, its elementary stages, and it's not fully fledged research. Do you guys then still open yourselves up to such discussions, or would you consider such and then maybe review it at a later stage when there actually is more evidence or research that has been conducted?
One of my favorite speakers, Ray Dalio, introduced what is called the dot connector in 2017, if I'm not mistaken. If not, maybe 2018, right about there. And we are only starting to see the dot connector be used in companies now, as Zoom has adopted it as an extension of its own platform. So in other words, what I do mean to say is that if there is enough evidence to start backing your idea, TED can be a platform where your idea is given the feet it needs to run. Another typical example is a puppet that is touring Middle East between a puppet, Palestinian. Let me get the facts for you. This is a doll, a Palestinian doll, which is touring the Middle Eastern side of. But in essence, what it is doing is that this doll is traveling as a 9-year-old refugee, traveling 9 countries to Israel, and it tells the stories of each city that it passes through. These are 50 cities, and the TED talk for that story was done way before the launch of its of what you call it, of this project. But having substantial backing of whatever you want to share with the world is very important. It has to be tangible. It has to be at least quantifiable to people. If someone wants to do research, they should find some of your research online, and it must be published in essence. I don't know if I've answered you.
Yeah, partially. I think the next question then alludes to what if you aren't at the level of study where you can be a published researcher?
Sadly, if it's something that will need research, it will definitely require us to look into that before we allow it to stage. Other than that, the only things that are viable for the TED platform are lived experiences, where it's a fact because it occurred.
Yeah, that answers my question. Thank you.
Thank you. Steve, please join us on this stage.
Good evening, everyone. Mine's more of a general question. So I've attended a few TED Talks, and more so of recent, specifically ones organized by yourselves. Of late, I've been getting invitations to consider being a speaker. And then I thought after a few months, let me try and get my fingers dirty, so to speak. And then I read the small print, and it said, I think there was an excerpt that said, you had to be an alumnus. Is that your criteria for being a speaker on your forum?
For the TEDx University of South Africa platform, sadly, our selection criteria is given priority to either alumni, current students, lecturers, and staff. The people who have the opportunity to speak on our stage, has he left? Oh no, Steve. The people who also have the opportunity to speak on our stage are either celebrated people who have been sought out by our team due to the impact that they've made, or in essence, it could be university relations. Say you are belonging to University of Free State, and we would probably consider that, because we do have 6 speaking spots available for this event that are open to other universities to come on board, just to increase our relationship and engagements with these universities. So if you can manage to get whatever university you've belonged to kind of collaborate with us to help us expand our network, then that'd be great, and that'd be a good way of getting to speak as well.
Okay, thanks for that. I left university a very, very, very long time ago, and not a university in South Africa, but I take your point.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for being also a great, what do you call it, member of our community. Do not know if there's any more questions. I'm left with 3 minutes on my clock before we adjourn, and then the rest of communications will be sent via email.
I just have a more of a general question. How can TEDx help one's idea to actually develop? Because some of it might just be a concept, but what then after the talk? How does it help it to develop and grow from there?
You see, TED has the power to entice a lot of great leaders, business people, and influencers in this world. So once an idea has been considered for a TED platform, it is a validator for your career or for your venture and idea. Another way, which is available on our website, TED.com, is to be a TED fellow. But ask me, I've tried being a TED fellow, and I've been in the pipeline for 3 years now. You really need some credibility to be a TED fellow, and they choose probably 1 person per region, and we can look at Africa as 2-3 regions at most. So that will be your next bit. And then Marlene, yes, please do ask a question.
Good afternoon. So I wanted to know, when trying to go through the applications, there was that section asking for what again, CV and profile. I wanted to know the specific point you want on the profile or the CV. Is it the normal CV you print, and profile for the application?
It's something that can show us a little bit more about who you are. We wanted to know, we would like to know you beyond the questions that we've asked on our platform. The questions we've asked on our platform, we're a little bit more about the idea and your speaking capabilities. So if you can showcase yourself in terms of your academic research, I know if you like is it Dr. Petunia? Yes, it is Dr. Petunia. Yes, Dr. Petunia had a few of her own like research and thesis tagged on our profile, and immediately we could validate that she has been, besides the fact that she's a lecturer with UNISA, we could validate some of what she wanted to talk about. Thank you so much for joining this info session. I hope everyone has been answered, and I greatly appreciate that you are joining us on this journey. We hope to see you on the 2nd of October or anytime that you choose to join us during our journey to the 2nd. My name is Kudakwashe Mazhetese. I'm the TEDx Curator for TEDx University of South Africa, and this is goodbye for now.
Thank you very much, Kuda.
Thank you so much. This was informative.
Thank you.
Thank you.